Every October, people all over the world show their support for everyone affected by cancer by raising awareness. Hi, my name is Kotso Sharon Tembo and I'm standing in for Francesca Piri Banda. Now, cancer awareness is the key to early detection and better health-seeking behavior. Cancer is quite common in both developing as well as developed countries, but awareness is still poor among the general population. Poor awareness may lead to poor uptake of screening modalities and delay in diagnosis. This week on The Digest, we raise awareness on cancer through the eyes of Margaret, a survivor of cervical cancer. This is the tale of a cervical cancer survivor.
Cancer, a disease in which cells in the body grow out of control. Cancer is always named for the part of the body where it starts, even if it spreads to other body parts later. When cancer starts in the cervix, it is called cervical cancer. The cervix connects the birth canal to the upper part of the uterus. The uterus, or womb, is where a baby grows when a woman is pregnant. All women are at risk for cervical cancer. It occurs most often in women over age 30. However, this was not the case for Margaret.
My name is Margaret and I'm 30 years old. I stay in Chidilabombe, where I work from Kasombalesa as a teacher. The cancer I suffered from is cervical cancer, and what prompted me is the biggest was I used to have abdominal pains. Yes, so that's where the whole journey began from. So after I scanned from 3 different facilities, the results were the same. I learned that I had a myoma, and so before undergoing my myomectomy, my doctors needed to find out if at all it was cancerous or not. That's how further investigations were carried on. What happened was, when the results came out, they indicated that my myoma was cancerous. So I was straight away referred to the CDH because my cancer had advanced to a late stage. So if it didn't advance, my doctor would have worked on it there and then, but then he had to refer me to the CDH for further investigations and for further treatment. Honestly speaking, I was hurt. I was very much devastated, but I happen to come from a family where cancer is a disease that has caused most of my family members to succumb to it. So I lost most of my relatives to cancer, and fortunate enough, mother had been raising awareness to say, your aunties succumbed to cancer, your grandparents succumbed to cancer, so you have to be aware. You should be screening yourselves. So in a way, mommy was raising awareness, and so it was like the time that it came, it was not very much of a shock because it's something that it runs in the blood and we can't do anything about it. So either way, one of us at least was going to have it. So after learning that I had it, it was a little bit challenging because I didn't expect it to come the time it came or to show up the time it showed up. And you'd be surprised to hear that in just a fortnight before, one of my closest cousins succumbed to it. So it came as a shock. Seeing a lot of people who were close to me die, I didn't know that I was going to be alive today. And the more reason why I'm sure even my closest family was scared. They were scared, but then they were encouraging me just for the sake of encouraging me. But it was very tough. I was 29 the time I learned I had cancer. So as I said, I'm 30 years old now, and my doctor was surprised, like, you're too young to have this cancer. So when he was told that I come from a family where cancer is part of us, he encouraged me. And I'm very much grateful to my family because, especially my mother, it was very hard for me to kind of accept even the treatment that was lying ahead of me, but she encouraged me to say, you can do this, let's try. We see how the doctors are going to help you at the CDH. She was with me all the way, from the start of my investigations up until my treatment. I did the 3 types of treatment that we usually get when suffering from the type of cancer. So I did chemotherapy, where I would be injected the chemo, and then I also did chemoradiation, where I would receive very strong rays. And lastly, I did the brachytherapy. It's more than chemo. Chemotherapy is just a treatment that you receive. Yeah, so sometimes, most of the time, it's in liquid form where you're injected. So they give you cycles, depending on how many cycles you've been prescribed for. In my case, I had 4 cycles. And it varies from patient to patient. So to some patients, they give them after a fortnight. For some patients, after a month. But for some like me, we're given every week. So they inject you, and then all it does is just to kill the cells. The ones that are usually active at the time are the cancer cells. But then it ends up attacking all the cells, meaning even the white blood cells, which puts you at a higher risk of dying, because even the cells that are supposed to be helping you fight your diseases will have been killed at the time.
How was your health?
It was something. It was very bad. It was very bad, where each and every time you'd want to throw, and diarrhea. So whenever you try to eat any food, the moment when you're done eating, you throw, and diarrhea. So you can imagine that kind of situation. But with time, you get used to the whole thing, and you just have to be there. Because of that, I became very much dehydrated, where most of the time when receiving my rays, the one I told you, the chemoradiation, like the muscles, they tend to more like contract like that, and then you end up getting more like paralyzed a little bit. So most of the time, especially in the night, I would wake up finding myself paralyzed. All my hands, my legs would be stiff like that. And whenever I'm receiving the rays, that would happen. And then also, you get the burns because the rays are very much strong. You become like, you have the scalds. Like when you get the scalds, that's what happens to your skin. And also, you have intermittent bouts of dizziness where you fail to stand for a long time. You just want to sit, you just want to isolate yourself, and so on. Approximately a month and a half. It was totally different from my usual. It was totally different. I never used to manage to do most of the things I managed to do when I'm just okay. I became more of an invalid, where almost everything they'll just do for me. Even just bending was very difficult, where I would just get a broom, bend and try to sweep. I couldn't manage to do that because my spine was also affected. And so my cancer was discovered at stage 3M, at the worst point. Almost the worst point, because the last stage is 4. So you have 4A, 4B. And it's rare that you manage to win the battle. My doctors were amazed. They were like, "What? This is so amazing." Yeah. They couldn't believe I managed to pull through.
My name's Diana Kalasa. Margaret Namkoko is my niece. The mother to Margaret is my sister, in fact, the firstborn in our family. Yeah, so she's my niece. We were heartbroken when we heard the news. We didn't take it to be okay from the father's side. Yeah. They have it. Now from our side, it was a news to us because no one from our family has experienced cancer. So it was heartbroken. During the time of treatment, we used to support her morally, physically, and spiritually. When she feels like giving it up, we used to be by her side, encouraging her and giving her support. So when she started treatment, we were by her side. During counseling sessions, we used to go with her, asking questions and how we can help her to go through. To such families, I can say to them that if one of your family members is suffering from cancer, you know cancer is a deadly disease, but it can be, somehow I can put it this way, it can be deadly if someone is not getting support from the people around him or her, like we did to Margaret. If we were not there, if we were not by her side, she couldn't be the way she is today. Because of our support, she has put through. And she's now a survivor. So to the families out there, I can say they should do the same. They should do the same. If they neglect their family members, they won't pull through. Sometimes people, if they are suffering from such diseases, they can even commit suicide to say, I won't survive, I'm facing stigma, my family members are not by my side, so I can't live. I'm not worth living.
Feeding was the biggest challenge, I would say. I couldn't manage to bath myself, stretching my hands. It was very, very hard. Such that I can't believe that I'm the one here sitting talking to you. I can't. Just with God's help that I'm here today and accepting the treatment, trusting the treatment process. The disease is very funny. You meet with your friends, you're receiving the same kind of treatment, you're reporting almost the same time. Tomorrow you go, only to learn your friend is normal. That's one of the biggest hard time. So everything becomes like you're traumatized. You were with this person yesterday and then today you don't see them simply because they succumbed to it. And then even sometimes when you go, you're queued up and then you'd hear others, because sometimes we have different views on certain matters. So even the reactions, because to start with, the kind of cancers are different, the kind of immune system is different. Literally, the stage of the cancer is different. And then you hear your friend has gone. And the person maybe who has died is one whose cancer is one in an earlier stage than you. Looking back, that's one of the most painful parts. If your support system is not that good, you give up easily. But then the way it was, where your mother gives up everything she's doing, comes with me here to receive my treatment. Because there were some days where, like other than receiving the chemotherapy, they draw our bloods every week. They have to know how you're faring. So, and then just that, my veins became very irritable and they're very small. So when it comes to drawing my blood, sometimes I just go like, no, Mom, this is too much. And Mom would be there pressurizing me, Margaret, can you please, you're almost done with this. So the support system was excellent. Even my young mothers, they were very much supportive. If it's not mother, then my aunties would be there. My brother, where I was. I just don't know how grateful I am for the kind of love and support. Had it been for that, I think I would have easily given up. I wouldn't have championed. And the other thing that helped me is when I learned that I had cancer, I sought for help from people who have had cancer before. I'll just research on them, especially on Google. I'll just research on them, especially on Facebook. I would call them to say, I need your help. I'm going through this situation, kindly help me. And they would counsel me and cancer on me until I began my treatment. So I'm sure if it wasn't for them also, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have healed the way I did. It would have been very difficult. That's why they should continue doing that, to raise awareness and to encourage people in my situation.
In fact, I even want to say thank you to the health practitioners or the members of staff at the cancer hospital at UTH, especially, if I haven't forgotten, there is Musonda there and the rest of the staffs there. For the support they used to give Margaret, they helped us a lot. So because of the support that we gave her and the support the health practitioners there at UTH rendered to her, they helped her very much to survive. They helped her. So I could encourage to all the members of staff at UTH, more especially Cancer Hospital, to do the same even to others.
My message to those people, the authority, it's very much painful. I'm here for my review, and when I sit there, I go, like, it's really painful to see people dying almost every 30 minutes. The main reason is that the machines, they are not working according to the way they should be working. And that used to happen even the time I was receiving my treatment. But fortunately enough, I was done. But now it's worse because the machines are completely down. And so if someone doesn't have means of raising the finances to help them to receive like this kind of expensive treatment, it's very hard. So I'm kindly appealing to say, please, let us see how we can help the people there. Our friends are suffering, and just like I've talked about, they need a lot of things. They need sanitary towels, considering the kind of situation they are in. They need very good sanitation. So if all that kind of help can be rendered to them, then you push them like an extra mile to recovery. And the people who are raising awareness, a lot of them will have the Kayula Childhood Cancer Foundation, the Two Sisters, all those, they should continue doing that because they are helping a lot of people. They are helping a lot of people. Like, I'm one of them. It feels good. Actually, it's one thing being advised to say you're going to fully recover from a person who has just learned about that, maybe who has studied, or maybe let me say a practitioner in that field. But it's another thing getting that from a person who has undergone that kind of treatment and is still alive. So someone can tell you you'll be fine, but maybe due to imperfection, you just go like, you don't know what I'm going through. You've never been through what I've gone through. But that when that is coming from a person who has literally gone through, it goes a long way. It goes a very long way. Yeah, because even me and my young sisters, we are also raising awareness on the copper belt. So we are also wanting people to support us when it comes to these awareness programs. When we say we'll be screening, because we're working hand in hand with the District Health Office of Chilabombe, and they've been very supportive. So whenever we have such an event, they'll provide us with providers, and they'll get the attendees screened. We want that kind of support, so that the more the awareness is raised, like it is said, like the saying goes, early detection saves lives. So when a lot of people know to say they should do that, and then they come to get screened, they know their result, and then they are told what next. Because if the cancer is found, it's discovered that they have cancer in a late stage, it's very, very difficult for them to undergo the treatment, because the treatment itself will drain you. And so if the cancer has spread a long way, it's very difficult for you to survive. But in an event where you screen regularly, especially as women, we should keep up with these gynecological examinations. We just don't want to do it when, like, we are in pain. We want it to be part of our lives, where we're just having ourselves examined. Yes, we put it on our routine to say at least approximately in a year, I'll get examined every year. Even our fellow men. The means when they begin to advance in age, starting from 40 going up, we want them to also be getting screened for prostate cancer.
Fighting cancer is a battle that is not won just by medicines, chemotherapy, and a great team of doctors. Becoming cancer-free also requires a constant stream of strong willpower, faith, hope, love, and most importantly, a positive attitude. And for Margaret, surviving cancer is not the end of a gruesome story, it is the beginning of a beautiful one. Remember to give your feedback via email, documentaries@diamondtvzambia.com, or send your contributions live on the Diamond TV Facebook page, Diamond TV Zambia. This is it from me and the Digest team. Remember to get yourself tested for cancer from any public health facility.